All right, you ready?
Yep. Sure. Here we go.
Welcome to the Nois Bois Show.
Oh, the Nois Bois Show. Hope you find what you're looking for.
It's the part where the intro plays.
It's the curio shop from Webkins. Welcome to the curio shop. Hope you find what you're looking for.
You still play Weapons?
No. What do you mean? Did you ever play Webkins?
Yeah, when I was younger.
Do you remember the curio shop?
No.
No.
I remember the cow's milk game where you're supposed to move the thing. It was like it's a game where you're normally supposed to have 3 things in a row in order to make it like pop or to move things down, but you could just have 2 move or 2 together and it would work. And I was like, this is stupid, but thanks, it makes it hell easy.
Okay, I'm gonna start. All right, welcome back. Wait,
What?
that's not how it goes.
No, it's not.
No, I completely messed
Are
that
you
up.
gonna cut that?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, I'll just do it again. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Nois Bois Show. I'm Trevor,
I'm Austin.
and we're jumping right back into it. We're going to talk about some esports.
Sports.
Sports.
Yes. In big, whatchamacallit, interests of quite a few of us.
Yeah, I mean, this one should go up only like 2 weeks after we record it,
Yeah.
so it shouldn't be too out of date.
Hopefully it's not.
Maybe maybe some of these
Some
issues will be resolved by.
Well, I know one of them will be.
Ooh.
I know one. There's supposed to be a decision made on June 1st or
And
May.
what-
May 31st.
Okay.
That is the Optic and Immortals situation.
Okay. I have no idea what this is.
So, Optic at one.
I know what the teams are.
Do you know who Hex is?
Hex. No.
Okay,
No.
he's the owner, or I think partial owner now, because they opened up
Optic or Immortals?
of Optic,
Okay.
because they wanted to expand their brand. So they're partially, I don't know partial or whatnot, but I just know some guy, the guy who owns the Texas Rangers has ownership there, and they have a parent company, Infinite Esports, and basically Infinite Esports is like, buy us. We are selling this company. So
Okay. What do you mean? Biased?
No, buy us.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like they're selling.
Gotcha. That makes more
They're
sense.
getting rid of everything essentially. So Immortals is another gaming org that wants to buy Infinite Esports,
Right.
and most people think it's because they really, really want that LCS spot because they originally denied it.
Yeah.
And Optic has a spot in League, and that's.
Has Optic ever had a league team?
Yeah, ever since franchising at least.
Huh.
It was
Okay.
they made or at least Hex and Nadeshot made a big deal about it when Optic and 100T played one of the very first matches, I think, when they played each other. They were both there. So Immortals, what most people are thinking is that they want to buy or at least buy Infinite so they can own Optic's league spot. And then most people are thinking they're going to get rid of everything else. They don't have an interest in COD. They don't have an interest in Gears or
Gears?
Gears of War.
There's an esports for Gears of War?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's huge.
It's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until there was some Reddit clip of a guy who is on Optic now, or I think he was at the time still, and he basically just called his former team that he just beat like trash and garbage. And he's like, these kids are nothing without me, and it was just
Jesus.
And it to his credit, it spiked the Gears interest for at least that event. Because people were like, well, I want to see. There's apparently a lot of trash talking in that game specifically. It's a very toxic environment from what I've seen. But anyways.
Esports is toxic unless it's like the biggest esports like League and Dota, CSGO, because they're so regulated compared to the others. Like even Super Smash Bros. Is super toxic because It's
I
just
think
like the
anything.
style
I
of
think
the
anything
game.
where you're sitting right next to your opponent. You're gonna just,
Yeah.
but as I was saying, they also I think they have a CS:GO team, but I don't think they're interested in anything but that. Oh, and Overwatch. They also have an Overwatch
Yep.
team, but Immortals owns Los Angeles Valiant, and by Overwatch League rules, you cannot own the same organization cannot own two teams. So they either have to disband it, get rid of it, or sell it essentially.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming you would sell it just to make money.
Right.
And the situation is that
So they're getting rid of Overwatch too. You're saying?
no. This is if Immortals buys them,
Mhm.
they can't own two spots.
Oh,
So
okay.
you might as well sell it to somebody else.
Right.
And those aren't cheap.
Yeah.
So the basically what's happening is Hex is trying to either buy out Infinite Esports,
Mm-hmm.
and because I think he's in a bidding war with Immortals right now, or if Immortals buys it, work out a deal with them to where he can at least retain a partial ownership of Optic and its brands and one. Because it's not just the teams; they have content creators too that would all be let go. That because Immortals doesn't care about any of that. They only
So Immortals is trying to buy Optic
Immortals-
entirely, basically.
they're buying their parent company
Okay.
that owns Optic.
So
and whatnot.
what about? So let's just assume that this deal went through. Immortals bought Optic completely. Would all those content creators just automatically become part of Immortals, or would they just lose their jobs and have to find a new?
I think basically what happens is I think their current contracts would become void because of new ownership.
Right.
But Immortals just wouldn't. They don't have any interest in renegotiating them. They would just. They're like, we don't care. We just want our league spot.
I thought Immortals were cool the first year that they came out in LCS, but
Didn't they have Hooney on their team?
I think so.
I think that was the only reason why I was semi-interested
and
in
then
them at all.
and then the second year, well, they were like really good at the start of the first year. It was like they were like on a whole different level. They were like stomping every single team they came
Were they
across.
18-0 Fnatic good?
I don't. I mean, I think they were undefeated for a while, and it was crazy.
Did they have an
everyone was
undefeated
talking
split?
about how good they were doing, and then like all of a sudden it just kind of trailed off.
I think the only people I remember was Hooney, and I think
faltered.
Pobelter was on that team. That's all I think I remember. He's still on. No, he's on.
Yeah,
Fly
but then
Quest now, I think.
the following year they had Double Lift. He might have been on the team originally.
I think Double Lift went from CLG to TSM to
And
Team
then-
Liquid, right? Is that?
I
here?
thought he was on Immortals.
I'll
though.
go look it up.
But anyways, I'm pretty sure because I don't like Double Lift at all. I think he's a scumbag.
I liked him until he went to TSM. I was like, why would you leave CLG to go?
Yeah.
He was on CLG from 2011 to November 2011 to October 2015, when the whole CLG TSM rivalry was big.
Yeah.
And then he leaves to go to TSM until November 2017. And then from March to April 2017, he was on loan to Team Liquid, and then he was back on TSM. April to November 2017, and then November 2017 to present, he's been on Team Liquid.
Yeah.
They won the LCS spring split, I think, and then had a surprisingly good performance at MSI, I guess, for North American teams.
What year are you talking about? What year are you talking about?
For what?
For what you're talking about right now?
Winning the spring split and whatnot?
Yeah.
That was this year, wasn't it?
Okay, I don't know. I mean, they won. I think they won it 2016 too.
Oh wait, it says championships. He's won.
Oh no, they finished in third.
He won 2018, spring and summer. Oh, he won 2015 summer, 2016 summer, 2017 summer, 2018 spring and summer, and then 2019 spring.
Oh, it was Wild Turtle. Was their ADC?
Okay.
Not Double Lift. I like Wild.
Do you get him
Turtle.
confused with Pobelter too? Do you just get all those?
I don't. I couldn't even tell you who
Really?
Pobelter
Okay.
is. I recognize his name. I just don't know what he looks like.
So yeah, he's on Team Liquid now,
Mhm.
and they got to the finals in MSI and then got swept.
Yeah.
Regardless, moving
Anyways.
on, moving back to the Mortals Optic situation. So,
Mhm.
I think there's a reason to believe that if Immortals buys out Infinite Esports, that they should keep Optic's other teams. For example, their COD team right now is in first place in the CWL Pro League, and they've already secured a spot at playoffs, which is very important as far as getting to champs. I would assume. I think it's a newer format this year, and because I think the lowest they can fall is third right now, and I don't know how it works, but I'm assuming the top 4 from each division go, if that's what it means, because if they're the only team to secure a spot so far, their Gears of War team, by far, what? Why do you just think it's funny?
It's just silly. I don't know.
Has been the most dominant team. Like, they've won, I think, the first 2 seasons for the Gears of War Pro circuit, and they've won 18 events, something like that, straight. They're crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Their CS team, I don't know much about CS:GO, so I had to look this up. They are either in or finished third in ECS Season 7, which I guess Immortals doesn't care about, but hey, third place isn't bad.
No, not at all.
The worst that I could find for them, the worst performing Optic team that I could find is their league team, which is the one Immortals wants to buy out.
It doesn't really mean anything, though. It's just a slot.
Yeah, well, and it's not like that team's going to stay the same. They'll most likely sell all the players.
Yeah. I mean, usually when contracts end, 4 out of the 5 people leave.
Oh yeah, that's what they're talking about. Is there's at least in COD, because Optic's team is very good right now. Is that if Immortals buys them out, instead of being sold to other teams, those players might just retire.
Yeah.
At least some of the ones that have been playing for a long time, they're like, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to another team.
Yeah. What do they do when they retire? Do they
stream?
Do they find other jobs? Do they stream?
No, they probably. I would assume they just stream. Yeah. You can make a pretty good living off of that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, because Optic.
Because you've already got the name recognition.
Yeah, because Optic had what was known as probably the greatest COD dynasty, where I think they were together for almost 3 whole years, the same 4 guys, and they just would win event after event, and they would just be crazy, or it was just crazy that they would keep doing it, and then they finally won COD champs in 2017. Which is a big deal because that was the one thing that was keeping them back from being from cementing a legacy.
Yeah.
To win the biggest thing, and it was, because they just always had a reputation of choking at champs every year. They would show up and they just wouldn't do good.
And I know Optic was known for Call of Duty. Right?
Yeah, that is what they are most known for.
Is Call of Duty Esports dying? Is that going away?
No.
No.
It's No, it's not going away.
Okay.
I'm not I definitely think there are bigger esports like CS:GO.
Well, there are
and
esports,
yes, CS:GO, Overwatch, League. I never watched
Dota's
Dota.
huge. I think
Dota
I've think
Dota is bigger than League, but yeah, you're right. The same thing. I've never really played or watched it before. COD isn't dying as far as an esport is. I think what happens is all the people that think COD is dying are the kids that played it when they were younger.
Yeah.
And then they grow up and they go on to play. Then they move away from console gaming and move on to PC.
Yeah, I'm just assuming.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not getting butthurt oh, it's I don't know. I'm not trying to get personally offended.
Yeah,
it's just
I was just asking because I know that's what Optic was known for, and that's how they became big.
Yeah,
and
I think it is by far their biggest team and their most recognizable team and most supported team.
Because it was always Optic and FaZe. Those were the 2 household names.
Mm-hmm. That was a big rivalry for a long time.
Yeah.
And now what was I going to say? Oh, and not only is COD Optic's most well recognized team, but Optic is the most recognized team in Call of Duty and the professional scene.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a huge hit if that brand just disappeared from that scene, because that's when Optic plays, no joke, the stream live viewers will almost double because that's just how many people won't just care about that team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Optic has teams that are doing good that Immortals could definitely, I think, make profit off of if they decided to keep them. At least the COD team would make something.
Yeah. And the Gears of War team.
Yeah, see, I know that they would be dominant. I just don't know how profitable Gears is.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm assuming prize pools are smaller and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But they are very good. Like they're like considered the greatest team right now. So that's that situation. I think a decision is supposed to be made May 31st.
Mm-hmm. About whether the deal goes through.
No, about who will. Either Immortals are going to buy him or Hex is going to buy him.
Okay.
Or some deal between the two of them like that.
Right.
Something will happen. I don't think...
we know they both want it?
Yeah, okay. Because Immortals wants it for the league spot. Hex wants it because Hex wants it because he cares about this. Yeah, about this brand and family that he has formed. And I think, more than anything, Hex is also thinking about all the content creators that would just not exist. Like, they have people whose job is to just go and record their teams at professional events to just make the videos on their channel, and no channel, no teams, no nothing. You have nothing.
All kinds of
jobs. You wouldn't have anything to work for then. Yeah, it's a bit of a rough situation.
It's kind of crazy.
So we'll see. In other news, I guess looking on the brighter side of things, 100T seems to be thriving right now.
Thieves.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I might have to hop on that 100T bandwagon entirely.
Is it a bandwagon?
Optic. I don't know. I like it because I liked watching Nadeshot in Optic when he was still on Optic. And then he left, and then he was kind of on his own for a while.
Yeah.
And then finally decided he wanted to form his own org, and I was like, I mean, not that I hated it, not that I hated or loved it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I want to see Nade succeed because, I liked him before when he was a professional COD player on Optic.
I don't know when I started liking 100 Thieves. It was either
probably the league team.
I don't know. I mean, I think it was either the league team or Fortnite, right? Because I liked CLG solely because of Afro.
Is that why you hate Double Lift before leaving CLG?
I don't know. I just don't like his attitude.
No, I don't blame you.
No, but like I think Afro is like one of the coolest esports players. I think he's like always really calm. He's a good team player. And
so what would you do if Afro left 100T?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't really. I don't know if I'd root for them as much, but like
root for 100T or root for the org?
Root for 100T.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, like him moving to 100 Thieves kind of forced me to root for 100 Thieves, and then also like I was following Fortnite before it was like an official esport by Epic Games, right? Where they were doing like scrims every week.
Like Fortnite Fridays or something?
Yeah, Fortnite Fridays with all these famous people, streamers and stuff. And Risker and Kenneth and all those guys who became part of 100 Thieves. And
are they still part of it?
I think Kenneth's the only one left at this point. But like Risker was like my favorite, and following them and them ending up in 100 Thieves, and then also that coupled with the fact that it's like run by Nadeshot, which is a cool story and all that. I think they're a cool organization. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool how they're such a young organization to be able to.
They're making waves.
Yeah, I mean, their league team has done incredible. Well, I guess they didn't do great this past split.
They made it relatively far, but the way that they lost was pretty devastating.
What do you mean?
Because it was just like they were doing well, and then it just like all fell apart, and it kind of sucked. And I think a lot of people were like, well, like lost hope and stuff.
Oh. I don't know how their Fortnite team is doing at all.
I can't follow Fortnite. I can't.
But their COD team in their first season won the...
I don't even know who their Fortnite team is anymore.
I watched some video, but I don't remember. I didn't watch the whole thing. But so their COD team won in their first season in COD, won the third event in London. And I think they're first in their division. I think, let me check.
I know their Fortnite team was terrible.
They're second right now. Because E United just won.
The only notable thing their Fortnite team did was get like a new squad kill record,
I remember seeing that.
which was
Didn't watch any of it or the original one, but I remember
Yeah.
seeing that they
yeah.
were
I'm
like,
pretty sure it was
we
crushed
beat.
like 2 days after.
We were like, we beat FaZe Clan, and I was like,
Yeah.
of course that's in the title. The views, man.
Yeah.
So they had recently.
But then FaZe won right back. Like they did it.
Oh,
again.
So recently, Courage just announced he was joining 100T.
Yeah.
And today, live on stream, I just saw the whatchamacallit. He announced the podcast with Nadeshot. Yeah.
Both
so
out of nowhere.
They stole our idea to make a podcast. Like, who does that?
Jeez.
Can't believe
We're the only people who make podcasts.
We're literally the only people who makes podcasts. Can't
we
believe
invented the term podcast. Didn't Ninja, like, spoil the fact that Courage was joining 100 Thieves? I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
I don't know if he spoiled it. I just remember seeing articles where people were like, he leaked it or something. And it was like, oh, okay. But yeah, the videos that they had were great. Like the way you described it, like what's this reality TV? It was like they're sitting down, they got like the name and who they are, and sitting in front of a camera. It's just really funny.
It was good.
The podcast one was pretty funny with Courage, like. Changing.
Did you ever watch the other one all the way through the announcement?
I don't think I watched it all the way through.
Because it was good.
Oh no, because I after the where they threw the football and he like knocks into Nadeshot's face, it seemed like really done bad acting. Yeah. I could not handle watching the rest of that video. I don't know why. Like when I see cringy things like that, I'm like I don't want to watch.
You missed the best part though, which was the Ariana Grande part.
What? What about her?
It was a whole story arc about how Courage
right.
wanted to meet Ariana Grande for his entire life.
I thought I saw, or I wasn't part with Matt where he was like, I'm taking so much flack for standing in between.
Yeah.
Or was that between
Courage and Ariana
at the beginning
Grande?
or the end?
That was at the end.
Okay, I think I might have caught the end on a stream then.
Oh.
I think, because I remember seeing the end and the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that part, and I remember watching it on YouTube, but getting to the part where he hits Matt in the face, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. It was good, though. What else?
Nick Merckx left.
Nick Merckx left 100 Thieves.
Did you watch the video that he put
I didn't,
out?
No. But it was peaceful, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. He basically was like, I don't really fuck with the guy anymore.
Oh, really?
I don't really... I mean, I wish him the best, but basically he said when he first came in, Nade basically promised him certain things, and they had a plan and whatnot. And Nick was like, it's a good plan, but Nade also wanted him to do things like vlogging and whatnot. And he was like, I'll try it. And he said he tried it, he just didn't really like it, and that it wasn't for him, and that some of the things he was promised just weren't delivered upon after a couple years. And he just said at some point he was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. So he decided to go off on his own.
Isn't Nick Merckx an investor in 100 Thieves too? Like, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought I read something about that. I don't know. I just read random things apparently.
Yeah, I think he said on the video, he's like, me and him aren't cool. Like,
they're not?
No.
Jeez. Okay.
But yes. I don't know all the details, but he did say, he was like, if you guys are surprised by this, I would be shocked, because apparently this might have been public information. I don't really watch the stream.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
I like watching more than just the top half.
It doesn't seem like he was ever really a big part of it. Like, I mean, he was like a big part of it, but he never really participated.
I don't think he wanted to. I think he just wants to play the games and stream, and that's all. Which is fine. He's
like, what, top 10 streamers right now?
I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate to see a split, I guess, like that.
Yep.
Or at least happen that way.
It sucks. Oh well, we got Courage now.
Yeah, apparently,
in my opinion,
people were sad
an upgrade
because Courage was part of Optic, and that with him being prevalent in the COD scene, that it could have been another boost to keeping certain people on Optic if Immortals buys them.
Yeah. Anyways. Sorry. So what else do we got? Nick Merckx left 100 Thieves. That's all the 100 Thieves news, right?
Trying to think if there's anything else before we move into the
Move
big
on to the big story.
moved on to the big boy.
The big boy.
I don't think there's anything else in the gaming esports world that
Yeah, I don't know.
notable.
MSI just closed out. Spoilers.
Team Liquid got fucked.
G2 won. Team Liquid got dicked.
They got 3-0'd in the final.
Our NA hope. Oh well. It's just MSI. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, but I think it's the first time they have an NA versus NA final.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they made a big deal about it with their promotion video.
Cool.
Yeah, we lost.
We lost. I mean, whatever. It's like, at least it's not Korea. Basically.
Hey, that's another thing coming to COD that I can support it more is that
does COD have a Korean presence?
No, or maybe I don't know. But
there's no
I'm
way.
just saying that in COD North America is the best region by far.
Yeah. Or
I guess the EU's closed the gap, but I don't know because they talk about how great the EU crowd is, but then it's all a North American team wins every time.
Yep.
So. And I think every time they had an event in EU, it was always like NA versus EU in the finals. I don't think EU ever really won, but the closest they got this year was with CWL London. They had 100 Thieves versus E United, which is a North American team, but it's the closest thing to EU they'll get without having an EU team.
Wow. Is it like E as in Electronic United or something?
I have no idea.
Or is it making fun of EU?
No, like that's just their name. It's just E United as in one word. Like E United, just the name of the brand.
Is there a company behind it, or is that just
I don't know.
brand?
I'm trying to look their website. I don't think they're very well known outside of.
Yeah, I've never.
Oh, here teams: CS:GO, Call of Duty, PUBG, Smash. Yeah, I know COD and PUBG. I knew they had some CS:GO. I didn't know it was popular at all. And Smash, I know they have one player, Sam Sora. He's the only guy that.
Well, usually they only have a couple players for Smash.
Yeah, I
guess
they
don't ever do teams. Really.
Well, no, there's 2v2s.
Are there?
Yeah. Look at some of their sponsors. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what the E stands for. But yeah, I don't really know when they were formed or anything.
I mean, yeah, you know about as much as I do, then.
All right. So
should we get to it?
I guess moving on to the big boy. FaZe and Tfue.
Yep.
What a clusterfuck this has been.
Oh boy.
So, Tfue is.
Is he the top streamer or is he second still?
I would assume he's top.
Yeah? Ninja's not top anymore?
I think. I would assume so. I mean, I don't really watch Ninja stream. Never.
Anyways, so let's break down what the story is.
So Tfue filed a lawsuit against FaZe, because you see, it just doesn't make sense that because I thought the lawsuit was about taking the 80%, but that was just of sponsorship deals, and I just don't think that that's reasonably something to file a lawsuit over. But apparently most people, or not most people, but people that know Turner are saying that they don't think it's him. They think it's his team behind him whispering it in his ear, telling him to do something like this. Number 6.
Yeah. Well, number 6 technically, but I think
the
he is the
Game
top.
Awards, Dota 2, the international.
I'm pretty sure Riot Games is bigger too. Oh, maybe not. Oh, this is based on viewers. I don't know about subscribers or whatever, but
let's go to most watched.
Tfue.
10.
Tfue, then Riot. Ninja's number 5 after Dota and Overwatch.
Right. The more you know.
Yep.
But yeah, so what happens, or what it looked like happened, is that FaZe originally signed Tfue.
Yep.
And now, granted, he most likely would have gotten some popularity. Sorry for my little reaction. I'm watching Twitch right now. On his own, just because he's so damn good.
Yeah.
But I think
he wouldn't have been as big.
I think the fact that he joined FaZe first was huge, because I forgot who said it, but him being on FaZe was like the reason why Keemstar let him be part of Fortnite Fridays was because he was part of FaZe.
Although honestly, like him and Cloaksy were doing duos together before that.
No, but he didn't. Cloaksy didn't want him on the team.
What?
Banks wanted Tfue to be on FaZe's competitive Fortnite team, and Cloaksy was like, "We know about this guy. We don't like his style. We don't want him to be part of this team."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
FaZe Banks said that in his video that he released like when he was sitting down with his just trying to put his raw emotions out there.
Yeah. Which was dumb.
I don't think it was dumb. Because that's who he is. He's always been a genuine person.
You say that like that's a good thing.
It's normally
Banks does not have a good track record.
No, and someone said something. He was Hitch on the Eavesdrop podcast. I haven't watched it all yet, but he said, "I've never seen Banks be that well spoken before."
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just being him. He was being real.
I guess
that's what he always does. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be fake, but yeah. So what looked like happened is FaZe signed Tfue like they would sign anybody else. And now
standard contract.
Yeah, and what I think Banks said is that the contract was made under old management, and I don't know what the qualifications or anything that happened was, but the guys that originally made it were just they probably shouldn't have.
And one of the things they said repeatedly was that they try to update the contract. If the person gets bigger, if they get smaller,
I did hear about that, but that happened. I think they said that happened in September of last year, which is also when they first got notification that Tfue didn't or wasn't happy with it. I think so. I don't, and all I know is I believe they both happened around the same month. Yeah. So I don't know what happened first, right? Or what was made public first, at least made who notified the other party of what first.
But since then, right, Tfue has been ignoring their offers to update it.
Yeah, but basically, and what I think happened is that Tfue outgrew his contract. He outgrew most organizations. Yeah. And that he wants to create his own brand, his own, maybe even his own org, who knows. But he doesn't want to be part of FaZe. He wants his own recognition and name out there. Yeah. And I think he wants it now because Fortnite is what's made him popular. And in 2 years when his contract is up, Fortnite might not be the same game it is. He might not be the same person that he is. So he wants to be able to, I guess, get more now. He wants, and I still think that you should have either read the contract and comprehended what was in there better, right, or not sign a 3-year contract, because that's a long time in esports.
The whole situation is just weird to me because one, Tfue and Cloaksy as a duo were really good. And they always felt like they clicked, right?
Yeah, but there's duos that compete competitively, that aren't on the same org. Like, if you look through the World Cup standings, like, you can compete with someone.
I'm just saying, like, it seems weird that Tfue is so unhappy with being part of FaZe because it felt like it was the right type of thing for him. He's
to grow.
He's extra. Let's just call him that, right? He jumps off of tall stuff.
Yeah.
Like spending money.
What I'm saying is that
he's the FaZe brand.
It was good for him when he was a nobody. He's not a nobody anymore. Yeah. He doesn't need FaZe now.
Right. It just.
I still think it's a selfish thing.
Yeah, it's selfish. That's what I'm saying. I think I don't think he's fooling anybody.
No, but I don't think in any way that it's a bad idea as far as making his own business. I just think.
Well, I mean, that would be cool, but I think he could, be more of an adult.
Yeah, I think he's also young, and this fame really came out of nowhere. Like, Fortnite's how old?
Yeah,
and
is it 2 years old even?
Yeah, that's pretty much where he gained most of his popularity. That's where a lot of these guys, like before Fortnite, Ninja was a professional Halo player. Nick Merckx streamed COD. I don't know what Tfue did. I think he played Battle Royale.
Tfue played Battle Royale else
but
he
he
did
wasn't as popular. Even Courage, he was a COD streamer and caster.
Mm-hmm.
But his stream, most COD professional streamers aren't. They're like maybe getting 100, 200.
Yeah,
some of the bigger ones would be
very
some
seasonal
of the
too.
Yeah, some of the bigger ones will get like maybe a few thousand.
Yeah. Because COD releases so many games, you won't really get like a spike in viewers when it first comes out, and then it.
But also the fact that teams don't or players don't want to stream as often now because they want to keep things like private, as most other esports like do. Like most esports players don't stream. Most streamers are entertainers, not professional players.
Like there's a lot of league streamers, but they don't really stream like full 5-man team.
Yeah, like if they're playing, like if I think what a lot of the streaming is when they play, it's called like money tens, where I think it's most people, they put on $20 and they play like a series of games against each other, and like it's a mix of anyone in the pro scene.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're using
you're not giving away vital strategies.
Yeah, it's like you're playing with people you're just friends with in the scene. Wow, we got really off topic.
I mean, it's whatever.
So back to FaZe and Tfue. I think FaZe realized Tfue was outgrowing his contract.
Yep.
Whether that happened before or after he said he was unhappy doesn't matter at this point, because it's a broken relationship. But FaZe is too smart to just let him go. Like, you're not just gonna let a guy go and be and compete, basically form an org or compete against you, because like eventually those people are gonna leave. Like, you have to understand that, but immediately allowing those people to use your same fans like against you is not a good business idea.
Yep.
So
especially when he's the #1 streamer on Twitch. Yeah,
like you just don't let a guy of that caliber go. Which I think also for Tfue could have been this whole thing would have been resolved by just signing a shorter contract,
right,
and then renewing it later,
or even just negotiating better. Like, they know he's the biggest streamer. He knows he's the biggest.
No, but
streamer.
the point is that he doesn't want to be part of this.
Yeah,
but I'm saying if he just signed a 1-year deal, if you just signed a 1-year deal, this wouldn't have been an issue. Like, he would have been out of contract at this point.
Right, but regardless, he didn't. So
which I don't know
what were his other options? His other options are he could have negotiated a better contract, which I'm sure they would have been more than happy to negotiate because he's the biggest streamer on Twitch.
Yeah, but the problem is that you really think that salary is what he needs?
No, but I think it'd be a win.
But the thing is that I don't think he wants to renegotiate his contract. Like he never, I don't think he ever planned on doing that because he wanted to get out of it. And conspiracy theory here, but if he thought of this to use this shitty contract this starter contract that pretty much any org will give a player, and say, look at this. This is what FaZe wants me. This is the contract FaZe has given me, and I'm like a superstar, and like this is not. I've outgrown this.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, and I think he wants to use like instant public backlash to his advantage. But I think most people aren't thinking it from the organization side. Like, you're taking a risk and a gamble on every single player that you stream. Tfue is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of guy as far as his skill in video games goes. Like you're not going to get a guy like him probably ever again if you're FaZe, at least to that caliber. So you're not going to let him go. Like, he just wants to. Like, you're just going to be like, oh yeah, you're the most popular like player right now, and you're really great for brand deals and sponsorships. Yeah, you can just leave and form your own competitive or organization competing with us. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I just think, I don't know. I agree with what you said, that he could have been an adult.
Yeah, I don't think Tfue is handling this in any kind of way that anyone
professional
should handle
matter.
This. Like, the part that pissed me off the most in the thing was he tried to make it like he was standing up for the community. Like, the whole thing about him saying that organizations need to be more restructured and more organized and more held down by the law, and this this stupid lawsuit was gonna fix that somehow, and he was just suing FaZe, to stick it to the man. That's crap.
Yeah, I think I do agree though that it could lead to something better for players and content creators.
Yeah,
because there's no like union or association to make sure these guys are
I'm not
protected.
saying it's not necessary. I think
Yeah,
that
but I do agree.
Esports are a mess
Yeah.
in general, and they need to be more structured. I just don't think this is
Yeah,
gonna do anything.
I agree with you that I don't think that was his really. I don't think he cared.
I don't think
about
this
that.
is about. That's what this is about. I think you're just saying that to sound like a better guy.
Yeah, I don't think that's what it's about. For him, I don't think that's what it's about at all. He's way bigger than that, and I mean.
Which is why I take issue with him saying that's what it's about.
He doesn't. Because if it was about that, he would have renegotiated the contract most likely. You would have gotten something better for yourself. You wouldn't have just held out and then been like, "Look at this, guys. Let's abolish these fucking organizations." Like, no, I don't buy that.
Ugh.
So yeah,
It's just frustrating. It's such a stupid story. Like, it didn't need to happen at all. It didn't need to happen.
No, it didn't. But here we are.
Here we are, talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. When will it be resolved? We may never know. Maybe it's already resolved. You guys are all in the future knowing what happened.
I don't know, but there was something I think in the lawsuit that said that they were claiming that FaZe was acting illegally as a talent organization out of the state of California, but FaZe operates out of the laws and jurisdiction and courts of New York.
Yeah.
Which I assume would make sense because that's where they really first started. That's where they started this like their first FaZe house.
Mm-hmm.
I think they originally started in Boston, I believe, with Banks and Tommy and some other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got a house in New York. And that's like when they first probably started making things official and like making it a formality. So it makes sense. I guess it makes sense they would operate out of there, even though they're not there anymore.
Yeah,
I don't understand how that works.
Me neither. I'm just kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're following laws because they're such a massive organization, but obviously that's not really fair.
I also don't think like any of those guys from the FaZe house have any fucking clue what's in Tfue's contract.
Yeah, they don't, and it's not their job.
But whose job is it?
Some professional person who's not just living in a mansion for the clout.
Yeah, I just feel like you got to take some responsibility for something at least. Like I'm literally all they do is wake up and have fun.
That's why Banks made that emotional video, because he doesn't know anything.
No, I don't think he does. I feel like you should know it, especially if you're going to form friendships with these guys. You should know the inner workings of. I don't know.
And you should also understand that it's a business. It's a job.
Yeah. Right.
Like. Sure, you can make friends with people, but you gotta respect.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't even know because Banks made friends with Tfue, and he feels like he got stabbed in the back, and I think Hex had made friends with somebody. I don't know the whole story, but I've seen it on Reddit where people are talking about how Hex made the poor decision of trusting a lifelong friend in the business world with this whole situation in optics. Right. So. Who knows? Don't make friends in the business world. You're not there to make friends.
Keep it separate.
Keep it professional.
I mean, I don't think this applies to everyone because it's just such a large scale thing. Like,
it's also a world of a lot of young people.
I don't think Banks knew that what FaZe would become when he started it. When it started.
I don't think anyone could have known.
There's no way.
Again. Like with
there's no way Tfue would become so big.
Like with Tfue, where they take a gamble on him. Every organization takes a gamble making themselves, like trying to make a business. Yeah, like I mean, he's put his whole life into this. Granted, now at this point, he doesn't really have to. I don't think he has to do as much as he did before. I also don't think he goes to events, but apparently on the eavesdrop, I think Hitch said he's banned from MLG events, which wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yep. He's a kid from Florida, working for an organization in California. He's based out of New York. And here we are, two random kids from Illinois talking about him on a podcast. That's scary. I like.
Is he really from
Yeah, he's from Florida.
Why did you always wear like Boston hats?
Mm.
Who resided in Massachusetts? Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's too much. I would never want to be in that position. I don't need that much money for any reason.
It's a interesting scenario.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it gets resolved for both parties. Because like I don't hate Tfue.
I don't really have an
doing
opinion on Tfue like previously, so it just kind of annoys me.
Yeah, I started watching his stream again recently. Now they actually started streaming again.
Yeah.
And it's like he's so fucking good. Like I enjoy kind of watching him not when he plays like competitively though, because it's just like most of the games are 0 kills until like the last 3 circles, and I'm like, this isn't exciting to watch.
300,000 materials being used in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
By every player in the team.
Like you get to like one of the.
Doesn't matter what terrain you're in, where the circle ends. It's just only building.
Yeah, and just the fact that there's like 50 people left.
Yeah.
In circles when we get there, and there's like, oh cool, there's only 4 people max or something like that. Mm-hmm. And if there's like anything more than like 2 more squads or something, we're like, oh my god, there's a lot of people.
I think Fortnite has gotten better though, right? I mean, I don't know. I haven't really seen anything recently, but I assume they're still encouraging eliminations.
Oh,
right?
I saw, where was it?
Because that was the issue. They were, if you get like first place, your points next round are doubled or whatever the hell it was. And so everyone just hides the whole game.
I saw something because I've recently been trying to look up stuff about the World Cup because it was like it seems somewhat interesting.
Yeah, like it just makes more sense to have eliminations.
Okay, Victory Royale is +10. Second to 5th is +7.
Yeah.
6th to 15th is +5. 16th to 25th is +3, and every elimination is +1. So they're still incentivizing eliminations.
Yeah, they're still incentivizing position, which is, I don't think, very good.
Yeah, I thought, because wasn't Fortnite Fridays or whatever, it was all about kills.
Mostly.
Yeah,
there were like, I think if you got first place, you'd get like every elimination you get next round was doubled points or something. I don't know. It was something dumb. It was like a slight benefit, but it wasn't points specifically.
Well, but how does that work? Because wasn't it like you would be in the same squad, so everyone's points would be doubled? Now?
I don't remember. I don't remember how it was. I think it was usually just like solo though.
Okay.
But
but even in solo, they would join together in the same squad in like a duos game, right? Wasn't that how that worked? It was solos and duos, and they would play in duos.
What are you talking about? For like Keemstar's thing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That was after Keemstar's thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Competitive Fortnite's I don't know.
It's a little bit sloppy, but it's just because there's so many eyes on it.
Bloom is the
They're trying to
dumbest mechanic in
Bloom is really
the
dumb.
FPS game ever.
It doesn't really make sense how a competitive game can have Bloom.
Like, I mean, think about people. I've already talked about how it's just about chance. Like, it's just competitive gambling. People are addicted to the percentages and thinking, but if I get something good, you know.
See, I think it is a really good design for a game, because there's so many ways to like improve, right? Like, you can get better at building. You can learn your environment. You can kind of figure out like where you need to be at what time and all that. You can focus on getting enough materials or finding weapons or both, you know. So I think it's a cool concept, and like I think it works on a casual level. But like when you have a full lobby of people who are top of the top, they have refined every single aspect of the game. The only thing left is the RNG.
Yeah. Like, I was watching, like, Tfue stream I think yesterday or something like that, and I guess, the block that they have in the game now, whoever's currently there.
Oh, yeah.
He said he looted the entire thing, and he got, like, no movement, like, no way to, like, redeploys or impulse nades or like the shadow bombs or anything,
and it was just
and he was like upset about it. I was like, bro, it's literally a game of chance.
Yeah,
like I understand you're like, what are the odds I don't get anything? But also, you'd have to understand, it's not like if you go, it's not like everything's set in the map. Like you open a chest and there are percentages for what you can get in there.
Yeah.
Or I
think that's not as bad as Bloom. Personally.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's unreasonable to even think about getting upset about it.
Yeah,
because like it's literally chance.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just the redeploys are so important because if you get knocked down, you can just fly away, and you need the movement to get around. Like they're kind of necessary in every single pro loadout. But like I think that could be problematic. But the fact, like, if you find a common AR and someone else finds a golden scar, it's not really that big of a difference. It's like maybe
I think
10
the damage difference isn't that huge.
And that's what I like about it, right? I like that you can either focus a lot on looting and finding better weapons, or you can focus on killing people and taking their weapons, right? And, that encourages killing other people. Yeah. You get their materials, all that.
Like, I think when Bailey plays, he says he never searches for ammo. Or he never opens ammo crates. He's like, because he just says, I'll kill someone else and get their ammo. And if I don't kill them, then I'm dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just all he does. I'm like, I guess if you want to do that.
It makes sense. I think it could work. I guess it is working.
Yeah, I mean, people are addicted to gambling. And that's a lot of what Fortnite is.
Yep.
Is taking a chance on something. So, yeah.
Yeah. Got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Cool. Well, that was productive, I think. If anyone wants to learn more about any of those scenarios, look up a YouTube tutorial or YouTube video by someone who like researched it and isn't just talking out of their ass like we are. That scenario with Tfue is pretty interesting. Even if you're not into Fortnite or into esports, it's still an interesting, like, just news story about, like,
if you're into gaming at all, really.
I mean, even if you're not, like, it's a lawsuit by a huge content creator against a huge organization.
Yeah, I mean, because it's also in a developing
a developing, like, type of
business world
environment.
Yeah, it's a different type of business, I would assume.
Yeah,
because it's not like, orcs can't get TV deals or something. Like, they're pretty much only making money off of sponsorship.
Mm-hmm. Sponsorships and, to a degree, tournament winnings, but mostly sponsorships. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.